of King of the Hill for vVv. It is still Sohyung, who is now moving to take on Rocker. And we'll see how Rocker does, as so far, this is only the third game we will actually get to see from Sohyung. Game 1 was against Sleep. He was very aggressive. Game 2 against Murder, he attacked and knew how to counterattack that cheese very well. So I really don't know what to expect from him just quite yet.
Yeah, I think that the pace has sort of been dictated to him in all the games he's played so far. At least it was in the last game. In that first game against Sleep, he had like a very small timing window, which he tried to take advantage of with Hellions and Stim, but really didn't do enough damage. And then Sleep just took the entire map. And So Hyung, you felt like maybe he couldn't really get into the game like you wanted to. I'll let you do introductions real quick here. We have to remember to do those as we keep yapping on.
Alright, so we have Rocker spawning over here on the top left-hand side of the map as the purple Protoss. Meanwhile, we have Sohyung, who apparently is sad according to Rocker spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map. And Sohyung, I guess, is scared of Protoss. So we'll see whether or not Rocker lives up to his Protoss scariness as game 2 does get underway. Rocker saying, no, you can't be, you're our Korean hero. So yes, Sohyung is Korean, and Korean players just naturally have 5 more APM, it appears, as the game gets underway.
5? I think that's a little bit underestimating Korean Terran's pretty good race combination there. Probably the most powerful so far in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, see, I don't know if Terran is the most powerful race, and therefore all the Koreans choose him, or Terran is just that good because the Koreans like Terran, and you know, back with Boxer and in StarCraft Brood Wars. So maybe if a lot of a lot of Koreans decided to play Zerg, or there was that large shift over to Zerg or Protoss, perhaps they'll be like, hey, Terran's actually the weakest race. We shouldn't be nerfing them all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Boxer. That sort of phenomenon where players who grew up watching StarCraft 1 Brood War, and Boxer and other players like that, they're growing up like we think of in the States with, sports idols and things like that. So, you see Michael Jordan play basketball, and you suddenly want to become a basketball player, or, a point guard or a shooting guard. And we've got players in Korea who looked up to these guys, and it'll be interesting to see if we see the same sort of thing develop now that StarCraft 2 has become more and more popular in North America and other parts of the world, as Rocker gets an SCV kill with the probe. That always feels good.
All right, we'll see what's going to happen here as Rocker's still wandering around. The probe is down to 1 hit point. The probe does have a little bit of a head start, but with a second Marine... Oh, an SCV comes off the mineral line to snake it and take down the unit there. And Rocker doing a little bit of a funny face as we now see Rocker going for an expansion attempt here. And we'll see whether or not Rocker can defend this. He is going to be going up against 2 racks, though. But those Marines trying to walk all the way across the field, unless Rocker mismanages with any early zealots, those Marines the Marines trying to micro wouldn't be able to split a zealot that easily.
Yeah, and this is a sort of the newer style where Protoss will go for the Nexus even before the gate, or even before the Cybernetics Core. I think that's when he placed it down. I'm not quite sure, but a lot of Protoss just going with 1 gate, foregoing that Cybernetics Core that allows them to be a little bit later on their gas. But Sohyung gonna counter a little bit here. He's sending 3 SCVs and 3 Marines, and I think this 1 Zealot gonna have big time trouble with this. We'll see if he cancels the Nexus.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here. The SCV is trying to charge up the ramp. A bunker now being established. There is a Stalker up on the high ground, and the Stalker should be able to get some damage in, but more SCVs coming in, so we're up to like 9 SCVs, as probes now coming off the mineral line as well. Both sides fighting, both sides dealing a lot of damage. The probes getting in some nice zaps there. A Zealot has been taken out. 1 Stalker against a large group of Marines. The probes need to re-engage, and they are doing exactly that. The Marines are doing a little bit of that stutter step. The SCV needs to get destroyed, as the Marines are going to be able to jump inside that bunker. And Sohyung able to get 4 Marines in a bunker next to a Nexus.
Yeah, big mistake not focusing down that last SCV. We see just 1 SCV left, as Rocker was able to take down most of them that came with that attack, but he was not able to focus down the one continuing to build that bunker. And if that bunker doesn't go up, then he might be able to micro forever with that Stalker and another Stalker coming out. But right now, he's going to be hard-pressed to defend this. Looks like the Nexus will go down, the Stalker being chased down by a small pack of Marines as well. and this is basically going to reset things for Rocker. And behind this, Sohyung is expanding, so Rocker going to lose a lot of minerals worth of a Nexus here.
Yeah, oh, the Stalker doing a little bit of a juke move, able to get by, and now be able to slip away, so it's going to be 2 Stalkers, and the 1 Stalker against the groups here. We'll see whether or not Rocker can keep these units alive. The bunker has done its job, taking out the Nexus. The Marines can jump out of there, and perhaps waiting for a medevac to heal them up. All of those Marines inside there are low on hit points. 1 Stalker does get taken out, as Rocker being very, very micro-intensive with this Stalker. It is down to 11 shields and 22 hit points. Still wandering around the map. Is it going to be enough? Trying to focus down, and it looks like it is down to 9 hit points. 2 more shots. There it goes.
Yeah, and he's just got 1 gate right now, so he's doing his best to produce units, but he really can't. He's not going to be able to take on this bunker. Instead, he's going to send a few units past that bunker and going to try to take on the front door, but he might actually, well, I was going to say he might GG when he sees the expansion up, but I'm sure he's not going to GG. But it's basically at this point going to be very, very difficult for Rocker to come back in this one.
Yeah, Rocker needs to do some sort of amazing play, perhaps setting up
the DT Hail Mary.
Yeah, the DT Hail Mary is probably the only way to go. Engineering bay, bunkers being set up, double orbital commands, plenty of scanner sweeps, as there comes the Dark Shrine.
Yeah, and you know, if the Terran player does not save enough energy for, you know, a scan or 2, this can do a lot of damage, but he's got 2 orbital commands, and I imagine he might be walling off completely here. If he's smart, he might actually just get 1 turret, and if you do that, you basically win the game. Rocker will be able to take down this bunker, it looks like, is he's not losing any zealot. Oh, there goes 1 zealot, but he did a nice job of microing the other zealots so that they got very low on HP and shields, so pretty good economical exchange there for Rocker, but he's just so far behind at this point. He's actually ahead in harvesters, but all those harvesters on that 1 base, not very efficient compared to the 2 bases which Sohyung is mining off of.
Yeah, and it's going to stay like that for quite some time. Rocker getting his Nexus now finally at the 9-minute 30-second mark. The Dark Shrine should be completed in just a moment here. No robotics facility, so he's not going to be able to warp in units straight inside the base. He's going to have to try to walk them up, and there is a complete front door here. So it doesn't look like Rocker is going to be able to get in with those Dark Templars to actually deal any serious damage.
And he only actually has 1 gate, so it's not like he's going to be able to come in with 3 or 4 DTs and hope they can do a ton of damage. It's just going to be 1 lone DT at a time, and he is heading across the field. He's hoping that he can get into this front door and maybe kill, you know, 9, 10 SCVs would probably even things up a little bit here. But Sohyung, as we mentioned, is completely walled off. He's got all of his units prepared to defend against this lone DT, and here it comes. DT finds the wall off, and Rocker's going to have to reset his thinking a little bit here, start probing up, and maybe getting a few more gates. We see him adding a 3rd one now, and hope to go into some sort of mid-game, but Sohyung just so far ahead. He's already working on stim pack and combat shields, so engineering bay on the way. He's going to hit with a very tough stim Marine Marauder and perhaps +1 in timing attack.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here. Engineering bay about halfway completed. Dark Templar is just still making its rounds. Right now, Rocker, it doesn't look like he's that far behind in terms of overall food, 49 to 66. The Dark Templars will eat into a couple of scans, as we are going into High Templars with the Templar Archives. Psystorm will be really needed in order to just handle this massive bio play. As level 1 weapons upgrade is being started, Psystorm and a couple High Templars could neutralize this. We'll see what's going to happen here as we now see more units being warped into the middle of the field, finally getting additional gateways up to 4, so he should be able to get in a decent sized gateway army, but stim maybe a little bit too much as Medevac's now on the move.
You know, we should mention that 42 harvesters to 36. So Rocker has been producing a lot of probes, but again, he's been on 1 base for a long time with those probes, and Sohyung does have the 2 mules out at the same time. So his economy is still going to be a little bit better than Rocker's, or at least even with fewer SCVs and just more army.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here. The factory does fly straight into the natural expansion, sees everything. Marines and Marauders are all unloaded now. And nope, it looks like they're just going to simply walk over. There is 1 pylon up on the high ground, so it will be spotted. So Rocker will have a good early warning of what's happening here. Rocker does see the 1 Marine if he's keeping track of the mini-map. A Dark Templar was trying to make its way around. It looks like a missile turret will be added as well, as the Marines and the Marauders now going to go in, take down the pylon, and now we'll see what's happening next.
And Soong, so smart, sends one single Marine to the northeast corner of the map. He wants to make sure that Rocker didn't take some crazy hidden expansion. A lot of times when you go down early with some sort of strategic loss like Rocker did there, you could have to take a chance, and Economic Cheese going for a fast hidden expo, definitely one of the options. So Sohyun doing a nice job making sure he's got all of his bases covered. Now it looks like he's going to do a double medevac drop at the same time as he pushes the front door, and I'm not sure Rocker's going to be able to take this.
Marines and Marauders now dropping in the backside here. High Templars, there's a couple force fields on the front door. They need to get one more force field there. There's some Psystorm. A lot of Marines and Marauders have taken a lot of damage there. Another Psystorm coming in, so Seohyung eating a lot of Psystorm, but it's not going to be enough, as Rocker says GG.
Yeah, it was